Okay, hello, hello. I'm glad to see you. So I hope you can hear and see me well so that we can start. Yes, hello everyone. So today we're going to talk about adverbs and also about linking words. And hope you are ready to start. So I suggest we look at the first slide and at these, specifically at these highlighted words. So let me read you these sentences aloud. So number 1, she smiled cheerfully. Number 2, the house was spotlessly clean. And number 3, Jeff is running very fast. And Shirley, I have some questions to you. So guys, what part of speech are these highlighted words? What are they? Okay, any guesses to the chat? So what are these highlighted words? What part of speech are they? Are they adjectives? Are they verbs? Are they adverbs? Cheerfully, spotlessly, and very. Adverbs, that's right. Okay, my next question is, what do they describe? So let's look at sentence number 1. What word, yes, specifically, what word does cheerfully describe? What is that? She smiled cheerfully. What does it describe in the first example? So cheerfully is an adverb, and in the first example, it describes what? So, how she smiled. Yes, so smile is a verb. Great. So in sentence number 1, the adverb describes the verb. Let's go to sentence number 2. In sentence number 2, what does the adverb spotlessly describe? Okay, let's revise with you parts of speech. Okay, so in sentence 2, the adverb spotlessly describes, and I see the correct answer, the adjective. Yes, clean, spotlessly clean. So in this example, the adverb describes the adjective, not the noun. It describes the adjective, yes? So we have the adjective clean and how clean, yes? How clean. So it describes the adjective. And in sentence number 3, what does this adverb describe? Very fast. So what word does it describe? And what part of speech is that word? So, very fast. So it describes fast. And fast is an adverb as well. So we found out that adverbs describes verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. Yeah. So adverbs might be just one word, for example, slowly, cheerfully, spotlessly, very, or it might be a phrase. But the main point here that they can describe verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Can we use adverbs to describe a noun? Can we use an adverb to describe a noun or not? Can we say she is cheerfully? Can an adverb describe a noun? No, never. So it describes only verbs, adjectives, or other adverbs. So let's go next. So adverbs, yes, can describe manner, how, place, where, time, when, and frequency, how often, and sometimes degree, to what extent. So let's find out what it means. Let's look at 4 sentences and let's find out what types of adverbs are they. Yes, so let's look at number 1. He speaks slowly. So slowly is an adverb. What type of adverb is that? Is it an adverb of manner, an adverb of place, of time, of frequency, or degree? What do you think? He speaks slowly. What type of adverb is that? Slowly. Manner, place, time, frequency, or degree? Slowly. That is The adverb of manner. Yes, how does he speak? Slowly. How? Adverb of manner. Okay, let's go to number 2. Your hat is there. So I hope that is easy. Your hat is there. So there is an adverb. But what type of adverb is that? There. That is an adverb of place. Where is it? There. Adverb of place. Okay, let's go to number 3. They'll come tomorrow. So tomorrow is an adverb. And it is an adverb of, that's right, of time. When will they come? Tomorrow. Adverb of time. Great. She seldom visits us. What about seldom? How do we call them? What do we call these types of adverbs? She seldom visits us. So what question can we ask? That's right. That is an adverb of frequency. How often does she visit us? Seldom. How often? Answers the question like about the frequency, yes? Частота. Okay, great. So now we know more about adverbs, but let's look next. So one important thing that you need to know about adverbs that they usually go after verbs, after the main verbs, but they can also go before some verbs. For example, adverbs of frequency. We usually say, Simon always drives carefully. Yes, we have a verb, drives, and we have always. So we usually put it before a verb. But adverbs go before adjectives, other adverbs, and past participles. For example, the test was surprisingly easy. So we have an adjective easy and adverb surprisingly easy. He speaks incredibly quickly. Yes, so we have two adverbs, yes, and they go in the end. And English is widely spoken. So we have spoken, which is past participle, yes, третя форма дієслова, and we have an adverb before it. Let's look at this task and let's try to spot the difference between an adjective and an adverb, because usually we confuse them. Let's go to number 1. That old sculpture is absolute or is absolutely magnificent. What do you think? What do we need in the first one? So that old sculpture is absolute or absolutely magnificent. Absolutely, that's right. So we have an adverb plus adjective. Да? Тобто у нас є прислівник, і за ним вже йде прикметник. Absolutely magnificent. Okay, number 2. I always feel happy or happily when she's around. What is that? What should be here? I always feel happy or happily when she's around. Happy. Is happy an adjective or an adverb? Happy. I see the correct answer, that's right, but is it an adjective or an adverb? Happy. Frequency, частота. З якою частотою щось відбувається. So happy is an adjective, yes? But we need to remember that after verbs like appear, be, become, get, feel, look, seem, smell, sound, stay, and taste, we need to use an adjective, not an adverb. Нам загальне правило каже, що має бути прислівник, але після ось цих дієслів нам потрібно вжити прикметник. Happy, not happily. Okay, let's go next. Number 3. She plays the piano reasonable or reasonably well for her age. So what do we have in number 3? She plays the piano reasonable or reasonably well for her age. Reasonably well. So we have two adverbs here, reasonably and well. Да, бачимо, як вони поєднуються. Okay, let's go next. This black tea tastes really well or really good. I think it will be easy for you. But anyway, this black tea tastes really well or really good. Number 4. Really good. Yes, because we know if we have taste, then it should be followed by an adjective, not like by an adverb. Це потрібно запам'ятати. На цьому частенько ловлять в іспитах, да? If you have taste, then you need to add an adjective, not an adverb. Ось ці дієслова намагайтеся запам'ятати. Okay, let's go to number 5. Nobody in the class speaks Spanish as fluently or as fluent as Frank does. Okay? As fluently, yes? So speak fluently, speak how? Let's go to number 6. He gave her a suspiciously look or a suspicious look. Підозрілий, да? Погляд. He gave her a suspiciously or a suspicious look. And that's surely a suspicious look. Да? У нас є іменник, look, погляд. Пам'ятаємо, що в нас прислівники ніколи не описують іменників. Да? So suspicious look, прикметник та іменник, suspicious look. Okay, let's go to number 7. Don't ask Rachel to help. She's complete or completely useless. Surely, useless is an adjective. Да? Useless – це в нас прикметник. Ми знаємо, що ми можемо використовувати тільки прислівник, да, для того, щоб його описати. Completely useless. To what degree? Completely useless. Да? Okay, and number 8. I find this book very interesting or interestingly. It was well written. Okay. I see the correct answer. Interesting. To find something plus adjective. Yes? I find it interesting. I find it boring. Це потрібно запам'ятати. Це такий сталий вираз. To find something interesting or to find something boring or to find something exciting, whatever. The main point here is to find something plus adjective, not adverb. Okay. So let's look at these two pictures and let's try to transform these adjectives into adverbs. Я бачу, ви зрозуміли, де різниця між adjectives і adverbs. Да? Знаємо, що зазвичай формують прислівники від прикметників в англійській мові. So let's try to form the adverb from these two adjectives. So number 1, Mr. Nolan bought an extreme expensive car, and number 2, it's been raining heavy all day. So let's try to form the adverbs. So how do we form adverbs? Mr. Nola bought an extreme expensive car. It's been raining heavy all day. So let's transform them into adverbs. Extremely, heavily. Okay, more answers. Extremely, that's right, and heavily. So Mr. Nola bought an extremely expensive car and it's been raining heavily all day. So as you may see, we need to add the endings ly to the adjective in order to form an adverb. Да? Тобто, щоб зробити з прикметника прислівник на англійській мові, додаємо певні закінчення, але при тому робимо ще певні зміни. Да? For example, in extreme, yes, we need to add ly, but for example, in heavily, we need to change the final y into I and then add ly. Да? Там більше змін потрібно зробити. So let's try to revise how we form adverbs. So the first rule is that we usually form an adverb by adding ly to the adjective. Це найпростіший, да, спосіб утворення. When you have a word, an adjective like soft, and you just need to add the ending ly. Це найпростіший, да? Якщо у вас є будь-який прикметник, наприклад, soft, додаємо просто закінчення ly, and then you have softly, yes, an adverb. But adjectives that end in le, drop the e and take y. For example, probable, probably. Але якщо у вас є закінчення і в прикметника, то ми його опускаємо і додаємо y. For example, probable, probably, possible, possible. Okay, adjectives that end in a consonant, да, приголосний plus y, drop the y and take ily. For example, heavy, heavily, як ми з вами щойно зробили. Okay, and adjectives that end in l, take ly. For example, careful, carefully. А якщо прикметник закінчиться на літеру l, все одно додаємо ly і подвоюємо літеру l, да? Тобто carefully, we have double L. In careful adjective, we have one L, but when it becomes an adverb, it becomes carefully with double L. Adjectives ending in IC, ik, да, ми знаємо їх як ik, usually take LE. For example, tragic, tragically. Да? Тут найбільше потрібно додати літер, да? Вийде tragic, tragically. But there is one exception, that is public, publicly. Є тільки одне виключення насправді. But what about these adjectives? What do you think about them? Are they, like, do they follow these rules or not? Do you remember maybe it? What about good, fast, hard, early, and late? Can they follow these rules or not? Давайте згадуємо. Ось ці, які я вам зараз показую прикметники. Good, fast, hard, early і late. Ми можемо з них утворити прислівники, слідуючи ось цим правилам. Or not. Or something different is there. Ага, good, better, the best. Молодці. Це ступені порівняння прикметників. What about adverb? What is the adverb of the adjective good? No, we don't change except for the one which is good. В цьому списку, да, в нас є ось ці виключення, їх всього 5. Тобто good – хороший, але щоб сказати добре, да, як прислівник, як, how, we need to say well, тобто воно повністю змінюється, да, слово. But fast, hard, early and late, they stay like unchanged. So you don't need to add anything, you just need to put it in the right place in the sentence. For example, it is a fast car and he drives fast. For example, as let's look at this slide, yes, and let's try to form adverbs from these adjectives. For example, we have cheerful becomes fast, doesn't change, is that right? Okay, what about cheerful? What is an adverb for the cheerful? Cheerfully, yes, so we have double L. Dramatic, remember these adjectives, they change a lot. Dramatically. Okay, what about quiet? Do we need to change anything or not? Quiet. Це тихий. How to say тихо? Dramatically. Quietly, that's right. So we just need to add ly, nothing else. Okay, probable. Remember, if we have le, yes? So we need to change it into, that's right, ly, probably. Да, нам потрібно le закреслити і додати ly. Okay, what about systematic? Systematic, we have this ic at the end. Becomes systematically, double L. Да? Зверніть увагу на подвоєння L. Да? В першому, да, стопчику like carefully, dramatically, systematically. Тобто всі adjectives, які закінчуються на ic, да? На ic at the end, in all of them in adverbs will have double L. Okay, let's go next. Easy becomes easy. Mind the spelling. Easy becomes, that's right, easily, yes? So we have y at the end, so we need to change it, easily. Noisy is the same, noisily. Quick, the same as quiet, becomes quickly. Okay, possible, the same as probable, we mentioned that, becomes probably. Lazy, lazy might sound awkward, but anyway, lazy becomes, звучить, можливо, трошки дивно, lazy, lazily, that's right. Simple, simple is simple, simple becomes simply, да, у нас є le в кінці, змінюю на ly, simply. What about happy? Нас сьогодні вже зустрічалось happy, again, sounds awkward, but anyway, happy becomes happy becomes, that's right, happily. Yes, so please mind the spelling. We have double P, the same as an adjective, but we have only one L. Але одна L in the word happily, only one letter L. Okay, hopeful becomes hopefully. And what about pretty? Pretty, again, sounds awkward. What about pretty? Знову дивно, можливо, звучить, but anyway, what rule does it follow? That's right, prettily. And the last one, energetic. So it becomes energetically. So all adverbs, yes, except for those that I showed you, follow these rules. So that's very easy because usually they have ly. Yes, all adverbs except for those that I showed you and I will show you have this ly in the end. Okay, so let's look at these two pictures, and we have that in the first example. We have an adjective, yes, this is a fast car, but in the second example, we have an adverb. George drives fast. Yeah, so we don't change them. We don't follow those rules. But there are some more adverbs that have the same form as an adjective. So let's look at them. Тобто це такі самі прислівники, які залишають форму, такі самі, як і прикметники, вони не змінюються, але можуть виконувати функцію як прикметника, так і прислівника. For example, hard, fast, high, low, deep, early, late, long, near, straight, right, wrong. So all these adjectives might be adverbs without any changes. Тобто не потрібно їх змінювати, вони як в прикметниках мають таку форму, так і в прислівниках. So, let's look at these sentences and let's find out whether they are correct or not. Sentence number 1. He's a friendly person, and B, he talked to me friendly. So what do you think about these two sentences? We don't change fast. Fast is an adjective. For example, it is a fast car, and fast is an adverb. He drives fast. Тобто fast ми не змінюємо. Okay, what about these two sentences? A, he's a friendly person. B, he talked to me friendly. Are there any mistakes or not? I see the correct answers. Okay, let's wait for more answers. Both correct. Okay. Any other guesses? He's a friendly person and he talked to me friendly. Okay, we know that mostly adverbs end in ly. Тобто більшість прислівник мається закінчення ly. Але, but, there are some adjectives that also end in ly and they are not adverbs. Like friendly, likely, lively, lonely, lovely, silly, and ugly. So these words are not adverbs, they are adjectives. In order to form an adverb, yes, if you need to form an adverb from these words, you need to add words like way or manner. For example, he talked to me in a friendly manner, or he talked to me in a friendly way. Я бачу правильну відповідь в чат. Тобто ось ці слова, які ви бачите в себе на екрані, вони прикметники. Щоб від них створити прислівник, це занадто важко вимовляється і пишеться. Тобто тому для того, щоб створити прислівникову форму від цих прикметників, використовують слова way і manner. For example, he talked to me in a friendly manner, not he talked to me friendly. Першими, як в B, бачимо речення, так говорити не можна. Потрібно використати ці два слова way і manner. So friendly is always an adjective. Тобто friendly – це завжди тільки прикметник. Okay, what about the second set of sentences? Don't speak so loud or don't speak loudly. What do you think about these two sentences? Don't talk so loud or don't talk loudly or so loudly. Doesn't matter. Are these sentences correct or not? Don't talk so loud or don't talk loudly. Both correct. Okay, any other guesses? The first one is correct. What about B? B is actually also correct. So some adverbs, there are only 5 of them, 4, loud, loudly, cheap, cheaply, quick, quickly, and slow, slowly, are often used without ly in everyday English. So for example, if you write an informal letter, you can use loud instead of loudly, or you can say cheap instead of cheaply and use it as an adverb, or quick yes, in informal, you can use it instead of quickly. Тобто ці 4 прислівника можуть використовуватись без закінчення ly. Тобто ви можете їх зустріти як прислівники без цього закінчення, але це більш неофіційний стиль, yes? So it's more in maybe colloquial speech when you talk to your friend or when you write an informal letter. Just please keep that in mind that it's also possible. Якщо ви зустрінете ці слова, то знайте, що це також правильно. Okay, let's go to these two sentences. Okay, choose the correct option. We have 2 sentences, and let's choose the correct one for each sentence. The kite rose high or highly in the sky. And 2, he is high or highly respectable. Respectable – це поважний. Somebody, like, I don't know, his colleagues maybe respect him too much, so that's why he is respectable. So, number 1, the kite rose high or highly in the sky. And 2, he is high or highly respectable. Як вам здається, вірно в першому і в другому випадку? High, second, highly. That's right. Okay, I have a question then. What part of speech is high in the first example, and what part of speech is highly in the second example? Яка це частина мови? В першому high, в другому highly, ваші відповіді вірні. Яка це частина мови? The kite rose high in the sky, and he is highly respectable. Are they both adverbs or not? Adverb. What about number 1? Is it an adverb or an adjective? The kite rose high in the sky. Both adverbs, that's right. But the issue is that, not the issue, but what you need to know, that they have different meanings, completely different meanings. So in the first example, high means at a high level, like high in the sky, yes? And in the second example, it means very. So it's not about the height, it's not about somewhere, yes? But it's about like very, very respectable. He's very respectable, or he's highly respectable. So there are some pairs of adverbs that are completely the same, but have completely different meanings. So let's look at them. For example, she tried hard, but she failed. So in this example, hard means with effort. It's an adverb and it means with effort, тобто з якимись зусиллями. In number B, he can hardly see without glasses. Hardly means scarcely, yeah? So майже, да? Він майже не бачив, like almost no. He cannot see without glasses. Тобто, бачите, вони дуже схожі, вони майже однакові, але значення в них дуже різні. Okay, next pair of adverbs. A, Jessica lives quite near. In this example, the adverb near means close, so somewhere close to another place. And in B, we have they nearly missed the bus. So nearly means almost. So it has nothing about like how far the place is. So it's completely different. Okay, number 3, yes, set number 3. Tim arrived late. Late means not early, тобто запізнився. And she's been going out a lot lately. So lately means recently, останнім часом. Бачите, тобто вони схожі, можна їх переплутати, але значення в них абсолютно різні. And the last pair of adverbs, you can visit the museum free. Free means without charge, тобто безкоштовно. And EU citizens, can travel freely within Europe. Freely means without restraint, тобто без будь-яких обмежень. So that's nothing about charge. There are some more adverbs. Let's try to revise them. Давайте, є ще такі інші прислівники, які потрібно запам'ятати. So, for example, we have shortly, short, hard, hardly, free, freely, high, highly, late, lately. Вони всі тут, so let's try to match them with their meanings. So, what about shortly? What does shortly mean? So, it is an adverb, це прислівник. So, what does it mean? Shortly. Зазвичай в іспиті, коли у вас use of English, вам дають short і shortly, да? Тобто потрібно знати цю різницю, що вибрати, да? Бо і те підходить по граматиці, бо воно виступає як прислівник, але по значенню потрібно запам'ятати це, звичайно. So shortly it's letter what? Граматично вони вірні, але значення різні. So shortly it's letter Okay, I will give you more time. So what letter is that? Shortly. I'll write shortly. I'll do that shortly. Let me give you some examples. I promise I'll do that shortly. Okay, let me show you the first one. Maybe it will be easier. So shortly means soon. So I will do it soon. I will do it as soon as possible. I will do that shortly. Тобто дуже швидко. Я скоро це зроблю, да, згодом. Okay, what about hard? The first one is F. That's right. What about hard? Shortly means soon. As soon as possible. Тобто згодом, я дуже так. I promise I'll do that shortly. Запам'ятайте цей приклад, можливо, він вам допоможе. Okay, number 2, that is G, hard. With great effort, with difficulty, or with great force. Докладаємо зусилля. I do something like, it's very hard. Like, she tried hard. Number 3, free. We know it. Ми з вами щойно це обговорювали. Free means without payment. Безкоштовно. Тобто піти кудись безкоштовно. Як? Безкоштовно. Прислівник, yes? I traveled, I don't know, I visited museums free. Okay? Number 4, short. Actually, it's very, it's not a common word. It's not a common adverb, but it has the meaning, I will tell it to you. Short means the meaning suddenly. And it's usually used with the verb to stop. For example, she stopped short. Тобто вона раптово зупинилася, да? I don't know, she was going somewhere and she stopped short. Okay, so it means suddenly. Let's go number 5, hardly. You know that expression, hardly ever. So what does it mean, hardly? Hardly means it's not hard. Ніякого відношення до hard воно не має. Hardly means, that's right, almost no, or never, or only just. Hardly ever, майже ніколи, да? Almost never, hardly ever. Okay, what about highly? That's right, hardly means barely. Okay, what about highly? We had an example, like a highly, maybe respect. Okay, I will not tell you. Не буду вам підказувати. So highly. Highly means. So highly, that is very much. Remember, like he's, I don't know, very respectable. Yeah, so somebody respects him. Okay, number 7, high. High means see at a high place or at high level. Тобто високо. Таке буквальне значення має. Okay. Number 8, lately is a synonym of the word. Lately is the synonym of the word recently. Нещодавно. Not long ago. Okay, and late has another meaning. It's not lately. It has the meaning not early or after the expected time. Тобто з запізненням. And number 10, freely. It has like different meanings. But freely, we have the last one is left. So, and that is willingly. Тобто добровільно, да, можна так сказати. Тобто її нічого не змушувало, не було ніяких обмежень. Тобто вона добровільно, або він добровільно щось робили, або добровільно десь рухались, переміщались. So it's not free, it's not about payment. Okay, so let's try to put these adverbs into sentences. Давайте спробуємо ці прислівники поставити в речення по значенню. So let's go to number 1. The children ever play computer games late at night? The children gap ever play computer games late at night. Зазвичай вони так разом, от з ever дуже часто йде цей прислівник насправді. Hardly. Hardly ever means almost never. Тобто майже ніколи. Yeah? Okay. Let's go to number 2. Jennifer stopped when she saw Mark walking in the street. Okay. What can be here? Short. That's right. We know that short as an adverb can mean suddenly. We can say Jennifer, like suddenly Jennifer stopped when she saw Mark walking in the street. Let's go to number 3. The plane was flying gap in the sky. Highly or high? In number 3, should we put highly or high? What do you think? High. Да, ми з нами знаємо різницю між high і highly. Да, і знаємо, що і то є прислівником. Okay, let's go to number 4. Mrs. Smith gap admitted that she destroyed her notes. Okay, what can we put here? Mrs. Smith gap admitted that she destroyed her notes. Okay. Shortly. Тобто soon. Але soon, да, таке має більш майбутнє значення. Тобто вона щось в майбутньому б зробила. Да? Було б Mrs. Smith will shortly admit. Да? Згодні? Тобто short нам тут не підходить. Shortly, highly – це very. Да? Тобто замінити highly на very теж нам не підходить. А от добровільно freely нам підходить. So Mrs. Smith freely admitted that she destroyed her notes. Okay, let's go to number 5. I have been watching too much television and gap. I see the correct answer. Lately, recently, останнім часом, да? I have been watching too much television lately. Okay, number 6. My mother will be back. І gap. Тут я вам вже дала підказку раніше. Майбутнє значення, да? Тобто щось трапиться от коли? Згодом. So what is the correct answer? Soon. How can we say soon? With the words that we have. Але з тими словами, які ми маємо. Ми маємо shortly, hot, free, highly, і late. Shortly. Yes, shortly means very soon. Great. Number 7. George is tired because he's been working gap all week long. So he's tired. Yes, I see the correct answer. Hard. No, not hardly. Він працював не hardly, but he worked hard. Great. Okay, let's go to number 8. It's gap unlikely that the patient would be released from the hospital. Highly unlikely. Це зазвичай вони, ці два слова разом ідуть, це таке collocation, да, встали. Highly unlikely. And number 9. Children under 12 will be admitted. Gap. Тобто їх кудись впустять як? Free. That's right. Not freely, правда? And number 10, I arrived late. Запізно for a meeting on Thursday night. So I hope, guys, you will not confuse these adverbs. Just remember that these are all adverbs. The point is that they have different meanings. Да? Головне запам'ятати, що в них у всіх є різне таке значення. Okay, let's look at these 3 sentences and let's find out which sentence is correct. So there are 3 sentences and only one is correct. So what is that? Check yourself. Перевірте самі собі. What do you think? Which sentence is correct? Just any guesses to the chat? Only one is correct. We will discuss it surely. We will come back to this question. Just for now, try to check yourself. Try to guess. I'll use adverbs of manner, place, and time. Now, carefully here now, or here, carefully now. B, any other guesses? Просто вгадайте, яке вам здається найправильнішим, да? Перевірте своє відчуття мови, як то кажуть. А потім я вам розкажу правила, і ви перевірите, чи у вас є ось це відчуття мови. Вгадайте, спробуйте вгадати. Carefully here now. B, бачу, всі ставлять B. Okay, so let me tell you some rules about the order of adverbs. Okay. So adverbs of frequency, да, ці от частоту, коли ми говоримо how often, they usually go after auxiliary verbs and the verb to be, but before the main verb. Ну, це насправді нас ще в школі цьому вчать, да? She has always been royal, or she is usually prepared, or he, like Helen, often goes. Тобто вони йдуть після допоміжного дієслова, але перед головним дієсловом, да, як в нас в останньому прикладі. If I talk about adverbs of manner, they can go before the main verb. А ці можуть йти перед головним дієсловом, after the auxiliary or at the end of the sentence. For example, he quickly ran up the stairs. Бачите, в нас є головне дієслово ran, ми ставимо прислівник перед ним. She is anxiously waiting for an answer. Or they responded politely. Або в самий кінець цього ставимо, да? Тобто в самий, якщо це у нас таке коротеньке речення, можемо його в самий кінець підставити. Окей, фактично воно у нас буде після дієслова. Adverbs of degree, that's, for example, absolutely, completely, totally, extremely, or very, quite, rather, go before an adjective, an adverb, or a main verb, but after the auxiliary verb in a sentence. For example, he was extremely helpful. Нас extremely описує яке слово? Helpful. Да? До якої ступені він був helpful? Extremely helpful. We quite enjoyed the trip. В даному випадку це в нас adverb, який описує що? Дієслово. Тому ставимо його перед дієсловом. And I didn't quite understand. А в даному випадку в нас є auxiliary, допоміжне дієслово. Ми його ставимо після. Okay, and we have also adverbs of place and time. And they usually go at the end of the sentence, especially if you have like last year, some specific adverbs of time. Наприклад, monthly, weekly, every year, last year. Якщо у вас є більш конкретний час, то зазвичай оці всі конкретні йдуть в кінці. But we have like soon, now, and then. They can go before the main verb. For example, he soon realized that he was wrong, or she is now ready to talk to you. Also, if you want to put some emphasis or the focus, yes, if you want to emphasize this adverb, you can put it at the beginning of the sentence, like carefully he opened the letter, in Paris we fell in love, tomorrow I'll sign the contract. Да, тобто, якщо у вас є наголос на саме коли, як або де, то можемо поставити на початку. But if you have several adverbs in one sentence, they usually go in this order. А якщо у вас їх декілька є в реченні, зазвичай їх в реченні декілька, да? So they usually follow the order. Manner, place, time. Ми з вами обговорили, які ці adverbs of manner. That's how. For example, quietly, place, at his desk, time, all day long. То вони слідують в такому порядку. Manner, place, time. How, where, and then when. Да? Тобто вони зазвичай йдуть в такому порядку. But if you talk about the verbs like go, come, live, але якщо у вас є ось ці три дієслова go, come, live that describe movement, then the adverbs go in the order like place, manner, time. Тоді ми на перше місце ставимо place. Бо по факту ми ж рухаємось і важливіше куди, а не як. Да? So that's why, for example, she went home by taxi last night. So actually, just mind that if you use that in your letters, да, воно насправді вам знадобиться, якщо ви будете писати в своїх листах, то думайте про порядок слів в реченні. So let's go to the same question again. Ми з вами обговорили це правило. So which sentence is correct here? Яке тут правильне речення? That was actually... Okay, do you want to change your mind? Хтось змінив свою думку? Which sentence is correct? A, B, or C? Ніхто не змінив думку, я бачу. That is be. Правильно, be. Якщо у вас є декілька прислівників, ви пишете і як, і де, і коли, то йдуть в правильному порядку. Manner, how, place, where, and time, when. Okay, I suggest we do some practice tasks, yeah? So let's try to correct these sentences. Let's put the correct sentences and let's try to correct the wrong sentences. Let's go to number 1. I went yesterday to the post office. Is it correct or not? I went yesterday to the post office. Can we put yesterday, which is an adverb, here? Or not? Or should we place it somewhere in another place? Yesterday at the end, or if you want to emphasize, then we can actually put it at the beginning. Yesterday I went to the post office, or I went to the post office yesterday. Пам'ятаємо, да? Yesterday всередину речення зазвичай ми не ставимо. Okay, what about number 2? The magazine comes out monthly. Some specific, yes, adverbs of time. Monthly, frequency, sorry. The magazine comes out monthly. Yesterday можна і на початок поставити. Пам'ятаєте, ми говорили, якщо ви хочете наголосити, що це було вчора, да, можемо поставити на початок. Це буде правильно. What about sentence number 2? Is it correct or not? Correct. That's right. Молодці. Якщо в нас є специфіки, якісь конкретні, да? Monthly, every day, last year, ми зазвичай їх ставимо в кінець. Okay, let's go to number 3. I've become recently interested in skiing. Ну, воно навіть не звучить, правда? I've become recently interested in skiing. I've become recently interested in skiing. Подумайте, де тут головне дієслово? Become, правильно? So where can we put recently? Да, можемо recently в кінець поставити, згодна. Куди ще можемо поставити? Can we put it before the main verb? Можемо і на початок поставити, that's right. We can put it at the beginning, we can put it at the end, but we can also put it after the auxiliary verb have, but before the main verb. Пам'ятаєте, ми всі adverbs of frequency можемо поставити після допоміжного дієслова перед головним. I often go to school, да? I've recently become, да? Тобто ось ці от frequency, які показують частоту, ми можемо їх поставити перед головним дієсловом. Okay, that's right. Let's go next to number 4. We play football in the playground after school often. Oh, sorry for my reading. We play football in the playground after school often. Значення нам зрозуміле, але граматично тут є помилка, правда ж? We play football in the playground after school often. Often – це такі короткі слова, short adverbs of frequency. Да? Їх так ще називають short adverbs of frequency. Where do we put adverbs of frequency? Найправильніше, ви ніколи не помилитесь, якщо ви поставите куди його? Перед чи після головного дієслова? Often, we often play football. Перед головним дієсловом. Great. Number 5. Very carefully he drives on the motorway. Very carefully he drives on the motorway. Incorrect. I agree. Very carefully, да? He drives on the motorway very carefully. Але пам'ятаємо цей порядок? Що в нас спочатку йде place чи manner? У нас тут немає слів go, come, немає, да? Or leave. Да. Спочатку ставимо manner, а потім вже place. He drives very carefully on the motorway. Let's go to number 6. He got up and walked suddenly away. That's right, manner. Правильно, manner спочатку, а потім place. Якщо немає go, come і leave. Number 6. He got up and walked suddenly away. He got up and walked suddenly away. Ви ніколи не помилитесь, якщо поставити suddenly куди? That's right, at the beginning. So it will never be a mistake. Yes, suddenly, comma, he got up and walked away. Okay, but we can actually say he suddenly got up and walked away. Да? Але можна також поставити це manner перед головним дієсловом. But you will never be mistaken if you put it at the beginning of the sentence. Але ніколи не помилитесь, якщо поставити його на початок і поставити після нього кому. Okay, number 7. I have never visited the United States. Is it correct or not? Давайте ще одне правильне речення хоча б знайдемо. I have never visited the United States. Is it correct or not? Correct. Hooray. Okay, number 8. Outside he's waiting. So, where is an adverb? Знайдемо спочатку. We have an adverb of place. Да, де? Where? Outside. Outside he's waiting. He's waiting outside. That's right. At the end. Number 9. Only I like ice cream, not chocolate. What about only? Where do we usually put it? That's right. Only we put after the subject, but before the verb, between. I only like ice cream, not chocolate. And 10, I cooked and as well I washed the dishes. As well. Це синонім якого в нас слова? I cooked and as well I washed the dishes. As well, that is a synonym of the verb So as well is the synonym of the word to. That's right. So it will be I cooked and I washed the dishes as well. So as well means to. Також, так? Тобто ми ставимо його в кінець. Okay, let's go next. Let's try to fill in the gaps, yes, with some adverbs. Let's go to number 1. Давайте тепер спробуємо поставити їх в контекст, в маленькі речення, в маленькі тексти. I was passing the pet shop when I saw the most beautiful kitten in the window. She looked up at me with her big green eyes and mewed gap. What do we need in number 1? She looked. Вона подивилася. Дивіться, look в даному випадку це не виглядати. Да? Вона не виглядала сумною, а вона подивилась на мене як. Да, якщо б вона виглядала сумною, то була б she looked sad, але в нас тут є up at me. Тобто вона подивилася, да? So we need sadly. Вона не виглядала, вона подивилася сумно на мене. And mewed softly. I knew we have immediate. So should we make up an adverb? Yes, I knew immediately that I had to buy her. Okay, now let's go next. Claire called to her mom. Я вже бачила правильні відповіді. Cheerfully as she ran into the house. The door slammed. How? The door slammed loudly behind her. Why do you have to make so much noise? Shouted her mom. Sorry, said Claire, and останнє quiet or quietly, and quietly crept upstairs. Тобто тихенько. Okay, and what about these adverbs? Good, we have adjectives and adverbs here, yes? Good, well, bad, badly, and ill. What about them? Передивіться текст, and let's try to fill in the gaps. So number 2. Yes, I didn't do very well, though I got a very bad mark. So here we need an adjective. Правильно? У нас є mark, іменник. Ми знаємо, що тільки прикметник описує іменник, да, в англійській мові. Okay, let's go next. Your history exam didn't come at a gap time, though, did it? We have time, which is a noun. At a good time, though, did it? Okay. B, no, I was very, when I had that exam, I was very ill. That's right. Number 5, I'm sure I wouldn't have done so if I had been and gap. What do you think about 5? Done so. 5 як, да? Тобто у нас bad ми вже використали, до речі, у нас залишилось тільки badly, да? Badly, if I had been, якщо б я був, мабуть, здоровий, да? If I had been well. So to be well means to be healthy or to feel good. Да? Тобто треба запам'ятати, що можна сказати I'm well, це означає, що я здоровий або я почуваю себе добре. Окей. Let's go to more practice. Давайте більше практики. So here you have the text, yes, with some gaps, and I will give you some minutes. Да, він насправді не простенький, потрібно все поставити на місце, а потім перевірити. So I will give you some minutes to look through the text, to fill in the gap, and then we will check with you. So what we have here, what adverbs we have, and like adverb phrases. The night before, probably, usually, occasionally, after midnight, always, never, rarely, quickly, a few minutes later, hardly, outside, yesterday, immediately, and often. Ми з вами значення їх всіх повторили, да? So let's try to fill in the gaps. Спробуйте заповнити ці пропуски. So I will give you 1-2 minutes to look through, and then we will check. When you're ready, like, give me your answers to the chat. Бачу першу відповідь, тому поїхали перевіряти. So one of those days, that is the title. So Bill wasn't feeling very well. Що можу поставити в кінці речення? Yesterday. He had a headache and was feeling dizzy, so he decided to go and see the doctor. So dizzy, so he decided to go and see the doctor. Давайте yesterday приберемо, щоб воно вам не заважало. Ага, quickly or immediately згодна. Immediately може бути quickly. Quickly так само підходить. Okay, let's go next. He didn't how to go to the doctor. In fact, he had a health problem. У нас тут аж 2 їх в одному реченні. He didn't often, that's right, have to go to the doctor. In fact, he had a health problem. In fact, he had a health problem. Якщо в нас там often, то в нас тут на противагу, да, щось має бути? That's right. What's the opposite of often? That is rarely. He very rarely had a health problem. Дуже рідко. Okay, number 5. Gap. Say once every 2 years, he would go and have a checkup. Number 4, that's right, rarely. Okay, number 5. We have gap at the beginning. Давайте rarely приберу. So something should be at the beginning. Тобто щось ми можемо поставити на початку. І далі в нас є такі ніби роз'яснення. Бачите, в нас є дві коми. Say once every 2 years. Occasionally. Occasionally means from time to time, да? Тобто час від часу. І в нас тут навіть пояснення, да, йде. Тобто один раз в кожні 2 роки, да? Occasionally. Occasionally, пам'ятаємо, можемо поставити на початку. Go and have a checkup, and the doctor had found him to be in a good shape. Щось має йти після допоміжного дієслова, але перед головним дієсловом. What can it be? Occasionally прибираю. У нас тут залишились never, always, usually. Да? Це ось ці adverbs of frequency, які ми можемо поставити після допоміжного дієслова перед головним. Found him to be in a good shape. Always, that's right, завжди. Number 7. He had any serious health problem. І тут по значенню, да, пам'ятаємо, що інколи, щоб заповнити пропуск, потрібно подивитися на попереднє речення та на наступне. Якщо дивимося на попереднє, то наступне речення каже майже ту саму ідею, але з opposite. And that is never. He had never had any serious health problem. Number 8. There wasn't anything seriously wrong with him this time. Так, never прибираю. There wasn't anything seriously wrong with him this time. Okay, let's wait for other answers. Probably. Правильно. There probably wasn't anything serious wrong with him this time either, but he arranged an appointment. Тут насправді 2 варіанти можуть бути, я тепер вже бачу. Якщо там у нас було immediately, то тут quickly. Да? Тобто можемо там immediately, тут quickly, або навпаки. Да? Дуже швидко. Arrange an appointment. Да? Домовився про зустріч. Finished his coffee and he was ready to go. A few minutes later, that's right, прибираю його. Number 11, it was raining lightly. Як гарно, да, звучить? Raining lightly, but Bill, noticed. It was raining lightly. Думаємо про значення, яке нас тут буде. Да, вони всі одну функцію виконують, але це adverb, це точно у нас прислівник, але що в нас тут може бути? Place, time, що може бути, if we talk about rain? Surely we talk about place. Outside it was raining. Бачите, до речі, як можна outside на початок поставити, да? В усній мовленні ми зазвичай outside ставимо в кінець, але в даному випадку в нас наголос на outside, да? Що на вулиці it was raining lightly, but Bill noticed. Так, outside прибираю. У нас залишилось тільки 4. The night before, usually after midnight і hardly. But Bill hardly noticed. Да? Але він майже не помічав. Almost no. Да? Пам'ятаємо, hardly – це almost no. Number 13. Hardly прибираю. He had been to a party at a friend's house and he had had a great time there. Number 13. The night before, да, he had been to a party at a friend's house. І далі тут, я вже думаю, зрозуміла, да? He had got back. Він повернувся. After midnight and parked his car where he usually parked it. Да? Тобто usually в нас йде перед головним дієсловом. Okay, guys. So I see that our time is up. So thank you so much for your time, for your participation and for your answers. The main point here for you with the adverbs is to remember the difference in meanings. Я б сказала, що для іспиту головне, це для use of English пам'ятати різницю в значеннях, да, ось цих, які ми з вами сьогодні розглянули, hard, hardly, да, там, late, lately. А для вашого письма, коли ви пишете informal letter, це головне, звичайно, пам'ятати про порядок слів в реченні. Да? Тобто, якщо ви не впевнені, але знаєте, наприклад, що suddenly точно можна поставити на початок речення, ставте на початок його речення, and you will never be mistaken. Okay, thank you so much, and see you. Have a good time. Have a good evening. Goodbye.